Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching an episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we have some updates about the anthology film, and also Disney has released...
The second anthology film.
And Disney also has released an official timeline now for the movies.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the second standalone film is back on track for 2018, so we're not going to miss a year at all.
There were some rumors it was going to be delayed until the next year, maybe by 6 months or something like that.
Yeah.
But nope, back on track.
Yeah, and that also means that episode 9 is going to be in 2019 as well. So we have the timeline, one movie every year until 2019, starting now. Exciting stuff. Also, we have a rumor from Schmoes Know that the second anthology film will be about Han Solo versus Boba Fett. Now, we sort of heard rumors about...
Is it like their younger days? Is that the idea?
Yeah. I think it's going to be like them fighting against each other, I don't know, back before episode 5.
Sort of their rivalry or whatever.
Yeah, because I'm sure they're competing for a lot of stuff as Boba.
Well, I mean, he's a bounty hunter, he's a smuggler, they're in the same sort of business, right?
Yeah.
So...
And they said that this is supposed to be a sort of movie about the bounty hunters and sort of like the hive of scum and villainy that would feature Chewbacca, Lando, and Bossk, and sort of just the whole bounty hunter crew that we've known.
Like a Bossk.
Like a Bossk. And that's kind of exciting. I mean, we've heard rumors about this before, that there's a chance that there was going to be a Han Solo movie, there's one that there was going to be a Boba Fett movie, but now it looks like they might just combine the two of them together, just put all the bounty hunters in one episode.
Yeah, well... I think, like, if you're going to do a movie about Han Solo's younger days, I mean, it would make sense that he would cross paths with Boba Fett just because he's such a fan favorite.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to resist. Every time the standalone films come up in the news, the one rumor you hear is either Boba Fett movie or Han Solo movie. So I'm sure, like I've said it before, I'm sure Disney has a list of, like, 20 or 30 ideas because they have to make these movies once a year for, like, indefinitely.
Yeah.
Like, I may be dead and they're still making a movie a year, right? So, like, you know, of course, you're going to have a Han Solo movie. You're going to have a Boba Fett movie at some point. It's going to happen.
Yeah. But it's also a versus movie, too. So we're going to see them kind of, like, square off against each other, probably for a job or something.
Yeah, well, they never actually fight in the films. Like, Han Solo accidentally, like, hits his jetpack with a stick.
But it was like in a scramble in this like fight.
And he's blind. He didn't even know what he was doing.
Yeah. So we never get to see them like fight against each other. And you think there's going to be this huge rivalry between them, but we never get to see it in the movies anyways. So.
It's weird to think that in the films, that whole rivalry is totally absent.
Yeah.
But if you read the comics and novels, it's actually pretty well developed. That there's this long-standing relationship that, you know, they've been sort of at each other's throats for decades. In fact, there's one story in it's Tales of the Bounty Hunters. The novel. It's like an anthology of stories about bounty hunters, and the Boba Fett one goes through the rivalry between Han Solo and Boba Fett through decades, and at the end of it, they're like old men, and like Boba Fett's knees are going out because he's like Batman, right? He's been doing it for so long. He's like 50. So that's kind of interesting that this thing's been fleshed out in comics and novels and the expanded universe. Maybe. Coming to the screen. So that leads into the other part of this report is that they're saying these are some directors that are being considered. One is Jon Favreau, which everyone knows from Iron Man, right? Yeah. Iron Man, great movie. I'm sure he would make a very good Star Wars movie. I know Iron Man 2 wasn't all that great. But
I'm sure he'd only do one and not have to deal with the fans talking bad about him if he does a bad second one.
Yeah, but if he does an amazing job, I'm sure that's why he came back for Iron Man, right? Everyone's like, oh man, we love your stuff, come back.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with Iron Man 2 was less his directing and more the writing.
Yeah.
I feel. Anyway, though, so that's pretty cool. And the other guy is Matthew Vaughn, who's not as recognizable a name, but he's done some pretty interesting stuff. He did the Kick-Ass movie. He also did The Kingsman, which has Mark Hamill in it, and actually Mark Hamill plays like a Secret Service and a guy, and he like dies in the first 5 minutes of the film. But probably what you would recognize him from the most is X-Men First Class, which is a very good movie. Kind of revitalized the X-Men series after what's his name that killed it with The Last Stand?
Bryan Singer.
No, he didn't direct that.
He did Last Stand.
No, he didn't. He did X1 and X2. Anyway.
Well, the good news is both of these directors have roots in comic books and sort of nerd culture at this point anyways. There's been, Iron Man 2, and then Kick-Ass, and the...
Kingsman?
No, X-Men. First Class. I don't know why I could think of the other.
I love that First Class series.
Yeah. But yeah, so they both have like this sort of root in nerd culture that would, I think, bode well for a Star Wars movie.
Having said that, though, this is just a rumor.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt. And I think maybe because they're like kind of, these people are in sort of that nerd culture, but they're also good directors. Yeah. It would be easy for like some fan to come up with this and kind of fake it. It's just a rumor.
Yeah.
Just a rumor.
John Favreau's also already worked with Marvel as well. Or sorry, Disney as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Disney and Marvel.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has a long-standing relationship with Disney. So that would make sense that maybe he would be one of their contacts. They would go to just say, "Are you interested?"
Yeah.
And maybe that's all it is at this point. Is they're saying, "Hey, we have to make 50 new Star Wars films over the next half century. Would you do one?"
Mm.
So
they better choose soon because Josh Trank's out. And they gotta start making this for 2018.
I'd say they have about 3 months to get this settled. So that would be cool. I would like to see either of them make a film, a Star Wars film. I think they'd be good choices.
Yeah, even both of them if they did the
one.
Next two,
yeah, exactly. So leave us your comments. Leave us your opinions about if you think it's true, what you think about these directors, if you think they do a good job. And we'll see you next time.